Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Now you're trying to hide your affair after you had no problem taking your mistress to a public place, a concert. Is this how it's done now? Are you serious right now? Was it worth it? This is a multi-million-dollar hug if his wife divorces him and gets half of his wealth. That wasn't just any moment. That was Andy Byron, the co-founder and CEO of Astronomer, and Kristen Cabot, the company's HR director. That little hug got caught on the kiss cam at a Coldplay concert and exposed what many now believe was a hidden relationship. The world has already given their take. Maybe you, as you're watching this, have done so, seen it, have your own opinion on what has happened. But I want to come at this from a different angle because this is the kind of moment that many Christian wives in general, secretly fear. Now, let me fill you in on the blanks of what happened. Because again, as you have seen yourself, maybe you don't need this, but I think for where I'm going in this video, it's important that I do so. Now, Andy and Kristen got caught on camera. As soon as the camera landed on them, Andy's eyes bulged like he'd seen a ghost. He immediately, as you saw, let go. It's almost like, everybody on their own. I mean, I'm not going to stand here now. And he slid like a little snake, right? He slid out of sight. I mean, I've never seen a disappearing act like I've seen. Have you? Christian, she, on the other hand, she turned her back. I mean, she covered her face, right? She's as if because she doesn't see them, nobody sees her. You know, when you were a child and a child would play these games where they cover their eyes, and if they don't see you, they're thinking you don't see them. It's almost like she was kind of doing that at that moment. I believe that, for Andy, he will get the Emmy for leading actor, and she will get the best supporting actor at the next awards. Watch and see. I guess we'll see if that makes it there. Now, I'm a bit facetious here because I'm going to get a bit serious in a few moments. So hang in there with me. I mean, she hit her face, turned to a friend beside her, and then after a moment of freezing, not knowing what to do, she too slithered like he did, slithered out of sight and disappeared. The disappearing act. I mean, these guys, they really did one of those slithering moments, and it's really interesting that they both kind of disappeared. And that's when Coldplay's lead singer Chris Martin, without knowing what he just stumbled into, he joked, they're either having an affair or they're shy. That one sentence sent shockwaves across the internet. I think that's what made it so much more kind of a viral moment, because he just made a comment of that kind. Now, why did he make that comment? Well, I guess because a person like they did, people like they did behave in the way, he probably know a thing or two about when people are hiding something. Now, most people are talking about the scandal, the affair, the embarrassment. And yes, it's all of that, right? It's all that. But as a marriage and family therapist and someone who's worked with Christian couples and just couples in general for over 2 decades, I see something deeper. And that's where I want to kind of take this video. What I see is a moment that exposes what happens when the grass is greener mindset takes root, when emotional or physical boundaries are crossed in secret, when the pursuit of more success, more freedom, more thrill blinds someone to what they already have at home. I'll be doing another video real soon about this woman who found herself in that similar situation, which I want to make certain that you know about that when I do that video, because she herself very clearly said, I told my husband, this is a whole new video that's coming up soon. I told my husband I wanted a divorce. And she went on to say that she even don't even know what she really want. And you want to make sure that you subscribe to this channel because you don't want to miss that video. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now and hit that like button if you are liking whatever you've heard. But I also want to ask you to engage with me in a very civil manner. Engage with me in the comments below about what it is your thoughts are on what I'm saying and what I'm saying. Now, here's what I want to say, that many Christian wives, right, fear moments like this. I would say many wives, period. But because my major work here, especially through the videos that I'm doing, is focused on the Christian wife of the entrepreneurial husband, right? That high achieving husband, that busy husband. That's the one that I mainly speak to. I know this is applicable to many wives, maybe you as you're watching this. Imagine Andy's wife, Megan. She supported him, raised their two sons, let him chase the dream. Like so many of you watching right now, you've given your entrepreneurial husband space, grace, and support. Even when he's working late, distant, distracted, and you don't want to nag, so you pray, you lean on your friends, you stay faithful, and then something like this happens. I mean, you find out with the world that your husband has been entertaining or living a double life. That's the nightmare. And it's why so many wives feel like they have to constantly be on guard. And I get it, wouldn't you? Especially when they're seeing their husband basically not being available, and the intimacy, whether it's physical, emotional, the connection is no longer there as it was, even though they trust and believe their husband, still feel a certain way, right? So I want us to watch this moment again, and I want to see how you now see it from where I've just said, from what I've just said. Let's just watch this brief moment again, and let's see if this lens I've just mentioned. Let's see if it makes a difference. Just to revisit this moment, let's watch together.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
You see it differently now, don't you? That wasn't just a joke where everybody laughed and jumped up, and you see everybody's excited, want to be on the cam at the moment, where two lives were being destroyed. I mean, two families were being destroyed in that moment while everyone is laughing and cheering. Two families. See, this is a part that some people overlooked. Two families were being destroyed. Now, I know it didn't happen, it didn't start there, but publicly, two families were just destroyed in a few seconds. A few seconds. The Bible speaks about sin. It says the pleasures of sin. That means there's a pleasure there, but it just lasts for a moment. Lasts for a moment, then it's gone. It's gone. That wasn't just a joke. That was panic that sets in. That was guilt. That was the unraveling of a lie. So let's kind of pause here and talk about what just happened. As I've just said, see, this is where we shift, because Here on Building Happier Marriages, this channel you're watching, we believe there's a better way. And it's all is embedded on this one foundation. That is, embracing the mind of Christ is the fastest and most trustworthy way for a Christian wife to rekindle love, connection, and intimacy in her marriage without losing her peace and joy. Would you agree? This is where I think that if, again, I don't know, I mean, either of them and their spiritual journey, because I know Christians and people who are on a spiritual journey, this moment can be also true. So it's not like it exempts a person because they're a Christian. So I don't know their spiritual journey, but I know this, that those who are embracing the mind of Christ on a daily basis, it creates less of these opportunities, right? Would you agree? So this is the belief that I I fear, frame almost everything I say on. So when you embrace the mind of Christ, you don't have to live and react in fear or silence. As a wife, you want to start responding in faith and wisdom because it's important that you just don't overlook certain things that you have this in your stomach feeling about, right? Because here's what tends to happen. We hear in moments like that, even from your husband, the message being sent directly or indirectly is stay quiet. Just be the supportive wife. Keep the house running, the kids out of your husband's way so he can get the work done while your husband's building the empire, even if he's emotionally unavailable. That's tend to be the message. And sometimes people even think that what I say tend to be what I am suggesting. No, never condone that. As a matter of fact, I suggest this better way. And that is to learn how to reconnect with your husband spiritually, emotionally, and relationally without chasing him or begging for crumbs. I want you to be empowered. The Bible speaks about this in Proverbs 14, verse 1. It says, the wise woman builds her house, right? She wants to build her home. It's a foolish one who tears it down. And I want you to understand, dear wife, that you're worth more than what sometimes people may think. Maybe sometimes you think of yourself. I want you to be empowered to recognize some things as you're praying and seeking God's face. God will reveal things to you. And if you feel an unction, something in your spirit that's not sit right, bring that up. Have a conversation. Talk to a counselor. Get some outside support. Don't just sit there as if you should sit there and do nothing about it. No, I believe you ought to be proactive. And that's why when I wrote my book, the where's my book here? Okay, here it is. When I wrote my book, The Joyful Wife, I mentioned some things in here which I believe is very helpful because I think that sometimes if a wife learns how to connect better with her husband, I say seven connection skills to better understand your husband, um, rekindle love, and deepen your intimacy. And I outline in here why I speak to wives, because I believe that you are stronger, more powerful, more influential than you probably get credit for or think. You are the neck that turns the head. And so when I speak to wives, I want her and you to understand this. And so I suggest this way that as you are reconnecting, you want to stay vigilant, right? As a wife, vigilant and spiritually prayed up because God will speak to your heart. So wives like you deserve more than to find out through a viral clip that your marriage has been compromised. Wouldn't you say? You deserve connection, not confusion. So let me just say this about Andy. Based on what I've read so far and what has been revealed since then, number one, he didn't laugh. He didn't seem to defend it. He disappeared. Now, I made the funny remark about he slithered away, and I just was saying that up front. But remember, I said that there's some sobering moments. He disappeared. That tells me he knew, and she knew this wasn't right. No one had to tell them that because God has placed a conscience inside of all of us, whether we recognize it or not. I know when I'm guilty of certain things, and I have been guilty of a lot of things in my 40 years of marriage. And I know, and you do. But thank God for his mercies and grace that are his mercies are new every morning. And thank God for his grace. I tell people when they ask me, what's your secret to 40 years of marriage? I say this: seek first God's kingdom. Put your eyes on Jesus no matter what. No matter what your life has been so far, keep your eyes on Jesus because that is the only way to sustain a marriage that has two flawed people who are not perfect, wouldn't you say? So here's what I do know. This wasn't a flirty moment gone wrong. It was exposure. It was exposure. And instead of denying it, he did what many don't. He resigned. He took responsibility. Now, this may change, but right now, that's what he has done. She may have to also resign. I don't know how could she ever go back to the work there based on what the whole world have seen. As HR director, come on. That is not what an HR director ought to do, would you say? Now, his whole life, hers, his marriage, his family, his legacy has been upstaged by a moment that started long before that concert. So, what can you do differently? Here's what I want you to do differently. Don't wait for something like this to happen to wake up your marriage. Learn to reconnect now. Even if you feel like you're the only one trying, because you can turn things around. One can make a difference. The Bible says one can put 1,000 to flight and two 10,000. So there is a power of one. So don't underestimate what you can do with God on your side, because with God and you're the majority. So you can get my book, like I mentioned, is available on Amazon. But I also want to invite you into joining me on a upcoming webinar that I have, how to reconnect with your husband without feeling like you're the only one trying. If you're interested in that, you can go to buildyourhappiermarriage.com/waitlist, buildyourhappiermarriage.com/waitlist, and get on the list, and you'll be the first to find out when we go live with that. I also have a free gift that I will send you just for signing up. It's called Reconnect. And I share 3 things you can do right away to reconnect with your husband. I would say it's also true for you if a husband to a wife, but I mentioned it's primarily for the wife to the husband. So you'll be the first to know, but also get on the wait list and get that free gift as well. So let me just leave these thoughts with you. Dear wife, you're not alone. You're not crazy for wanting a deep, joy-filled, Christ-centered marriage. You are also one connection skill away from transforming your marriage. And remember, Psalm 127, verse 1, unless the Lord builds a house, the builders labor in vain. Don't let the fear of ending up like Megan keep you frozen. You can act today. So again, be sure to subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and leave your thoughts in the comments. And before you go, watch this other video right here for more on how to avoid emotional disconnection in your marriage. And if you want to watch a channel that I also have on for more prayer related for marriages, you can get access to that at Peaceful Home Prayers as well. Watch this video right here, and God bless you and keep you. And I'll see you in the next video. God bless. Peace out.